If you could count us in, that would be grand.
Yes, count us in if you can.
Count who, what, when we're in?
As in, tell us when you're about to start streaming.
Oh, we are streaming already.
Oh, good.
Sophie,
Pro as heck introductions. Hello and welcome everybody to the AHGL cast. This is Zynga versus Google. I am Pulse and I am joined by Spuddington. Hello.
Hello. You're also joined by Soviet Pride, who is very kindly streaming for us today, and you can't hear him, but he's also quite silly. Like, can you count us in? He's like, what does that mean? Like, oh, we already are streaming.
Played.
Well played.
Okay, well, the first couple bands coming out will be Malphite and Twisted Fate. Take me through some of these bands.
Well, I mean, Fight is... I hope you can't hear my cat. Malphite is... she wants to go out. Malphite is a very strong top laner, very strong in general. He's not generally so favoured in jungle these days. And did just suffer a bit in Season 3 cat. I'm going to have to shut her out. But, yeah, he generally shuts down a lot of AD top laners. Extremely strong, kind of hard initiate. Unstoppable Force, his ultimate is basically... it's most difficult to avoid initiation. You basically can't do anything of that sort. Although I've got to admit, the live stream is not live, according to me. That could just be me. I don't know.
Yeah, just say offline to me as well.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go on under the assumption that is live.
Okie doke. So Malphite and Twisted Fate.
Well, it says offline on mine as well. I have no idea why.
God damn it.
Alright, well, we're probably not really meant.
That's not good. Well, I don't know if the recording is separate. Could be.
I don't...
Oh wait, no, it's on again.
Is it on again? Do we have a functioning stream?
Were we on in the first? Because I might...
We were
It said
indeed
it
on
was
the
live
first
for
place, but
a
it
second.
blinked off for some unknown reason.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the laptop and it's working.
That says we're offline for me.
Go offline.
That says we're offline for me. This
But
is super.
I can actually see it's being live on the stream. Like the stream's working.
Is it?
Yeah, stream
Yeah,
is working.
for me.
I can it says
Well,
offline, but
if
the stream
anyone's
is
watching
actually
now,
streaming.
go ahead and go into the chat, in the IRC chat, and tell us what's happening, because that'll be grand.
We can't actually tell at the moment. But anyway, Malphite and Twisted Fate bans, which is the last thing I know of what's happened in the actual game. Malphite, pretty strong top laner, shuts down a lot of ADs, hard initiate obviously, great in a team composition that can follow up on that kind of sudden initiation with AoE. Twisted Fate is just generally a very, very difficult character to deal with, because obviously he's a fairly safe mid laner in terms of dueling his opponent. His biggest problem is that he doesn't have an escape, so if he does get ganked by a jungler, then he's quite likely to end up very, very dead. He's easily dived, and the only thing he's got to protect himself is the stun card, which is only in auto attack range, which puts him in range of enemy CC. But for all that, he does have pretty long range to farm with, and pretty influential, obviously, on other lanes because of the ability to just appear almost anywhere he chooses with very, very little warning indeed, which can set up, doubles and triple kills at bottom lane, and counter gank and all things in between.
Yeah, so we also have Blitzcrank coming out as another band, along with Lulu, 2 supports coming out, and Blitzcrank is really, really annoying, scales really nicely into the late game as well, purely because of just the fact you catch one person, they're basically dead. You have some CC behind that, there's very little they can do to escape from it. In lane, he's a complete monster as well, with that really aggressive AD carry that you like to put out. Generally not too good with defensive lanes, but Blitzcrank really nice offensively, along with Lulu, who's got a lot of poke. And Blitzcrank is basically that massive hard initiation, where Lulu is really more of that pokey lane, where you generally pick people like Caitlyn or even Cogmore to some extent. Misfortune is really strong at the moment as an AD carry, and along with Ezreal. Ezreal's Arcane Shift is still janky as hell, which can make him very, very slippery to pin down. Still puts out a lot of damage despite not having that speed reduction on his W anymore after the recent nerf. So we will have a couple of the, or not just a couple, but most of the picks coming out because we had a bit of hassle setting up the stream. Take me through some of the first ones.
Well, I would love to, but for me, the stream is still offline, so I can't actually see what the picks are.
Alright, okay, I'll do that then. We have Shen as the first pick from Blue Team, which will be Zynga, I think. I believe they're going to remake the lobby after this and swap around because Google wanted the Blue Team. Or might be the other way around.
But the left team.
Yeah,
you have to be
the left team.
Left-handed. Left-footed.
They're all left-handed, left-footed. They don't use their right feet.
They have to have 2 left hands and 2 left feet.
Yes.
Or 4 left hands, optional. But, so, anyway,
okay.
What are these picks?
Okay, so Frozen Fire has taken out the Shen here, so we've got the global presence already. We have the, in fact I'll just go all the way down because everyone's picked everything. We have the Mumu, Nunu, Caitlyn and Swain coming out, so a very dominant early game for that bottom lane. Shen's really nice in that laning phase, along with a Mumu when he hits 6, more looking at those team fights, and then with the Swain as well, nice late game scaling and the mid game. I really look for her strong, really competent mid game team. And scaling into that late game, maybe less so. Of course, Tarrant just quitting out here so they can swap over the teams, so they will be in the right position. I'm not sure if they're remaking the lobby, but they have a really, really nice early to mid-game team. Of course, Mumu's not going to be that great in the early game until he gets his ultimate. Of course, the Band's Toss is his only form of CC up until that point, and that's not super reliable. Later game, of course, Caitlyn's not going to be putting out as much damage as most AD carries, but it's still an AD carry, and they're still going to be doing tons of damage.
Plus, if she has a Nunu, then that more or less covers for that weakness, because the extra attack speed from Blood Boil is just it's as much as an item dancer. So having a 7-item AD carry can be, it's always going to be more than having just 3 or 4. So
yeah.
What is going on at the moment? Well, now my live stream says that it's live, but I have a black screen and I'm not getting any sound out of it.
Try popping it out, that works for me.
That could be it. Pop out. Pop out. Oh, hello. Give me some video. There we go.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I like to do these things. We'll have Tomato BRB 2 seconds, so we'll wait for that to come out. And because I have a memory, I don't know what the other picks were. So, that's the thing.
So shall I tell you about my adventures then?
Alright, let's hear an answer from Spuddington.
But it is hello TeamSpeak on the stream. What are you doing here? So we've got so yesterday I was in London, in Gatwick, because I had been on holiday in Spain visiting my grandparents. So I decided I sort of didn't want to pay for a hotel while I was in Gatwick, so I found a corner in a Costa. And I said I'm like with a plug, and that was the important thing here. And I must have quite a strange person, because I was sat there with two big bags, in a coat, in in my casual wear, my jeans and all that. And I sort of plugged in my Xbox 360 controller to the laptop with my gaming head on. And then I sat there for about 12 hours solid and just played games. Played through almost the entirety of Mark of the Ninja, actually, which was pretty good. I enjoyed that. And also played FTL and finally beat the boss. If anyone else has played FTL, it's a good game. Try it. Excellent.
Yes, FTL is an absolutely outstanding game. Great time sink, and will definitely ensure that I fail all of my studies. Okay, so we will be looking at a new lobby now because they have rehosted and it was way too awkward just to have everyone swap over. I will just double check which team is on which side, because we don't want get in game and then this Team Zynga.
Well done, Team Zynga. You can go. Well, if we're to be fair though, this is a common problem for me. I am the worst names. I mean, no offense, Frank, by the way, but I casted some collegiate games with him, and I can never remember the names of the teams. It's like University of Western Virginia. Yes, that is a thing. I'm aware of that, but it has no connections to other parts of my brain. So I'm just the purple team is doing very well here, and then I end up trying to find really elaborate ways around saying the name of the enemy team, the enemy team, of the teams that are playing, and I just end up going like, well, the team is having an advantage here based on the fact they've gotten a Mumu, is doing well.
Yeah, it gets really awkward. I mean, you can't exactly ask the other person, which is this team, because it just sounds offensive, so it's just like,
you can't
the other
check.
team, you start talking about one player, and you just say, the other team is doing this, and then no one's the wiser.
Fine. Yeah, well,
Or you just wait. Or you just wait until your co-cast says it, and then it's copied. It's fine.
That is also helpful, but the problem there is that sometimes you end up misinterpreting what they're doing, or they be wrong.
Yeah.
It's not ideal. It's not ideal. I should probably learn these things. I'm hoping I'll be better at this though, because there'll be names of companies that I'm actually aware of.
Yeah, and they're pretty snappy titles as well. So I'm pretty happy with that. Should be able to associate blue team or purple team with one of those names. And well, these are problems faced by casters.
Yep.
I'm sure one of you viewers are aware of this. But these are problems that we encounter on a daily basis.
And only some of them arise woeful incompetence.
Yeah.
That's a bad thing.
True fact. Okay, spectate. Boom. We need Stream 2000 in here. I believe an invite has been sent to you, Streambot 2000. So, if you would like to join the game,
oh boy,
it would be stellar.
Such a good name. Who here has Nunubot, by the way? Well, I'm asking you. Do you have Nunubot? I know you have
Who
Nunubot.
here? Out of the person I'm talking to.
There could be people in IRC.
There is. But Nunubot is absolutely amazing. Nunubot is like the best skin. I can't think of a better. What? Prod. You have been invited again. Dreambot 2000, you invited again.
We're pros. We're doing a good job of what's going on. Yeah.
Yes.
Success.
Look at this. This is smooth. This is the smoothest transition.
Don't worry, guys. Let's just slip into this other lobby here.
Ready from streamers? Yes.
Ready as needs be.
Yes, we are.
Winging it is fine.
Okay, so Zynga is on the blue team and Google is on the purple team. The band champions will be Master Yi, Heimerdinger, Kha'Zix, which is actually a legitimate band nowadays.
Yeah. Damn.
By the way, guys, if anyone's just joined the stream, anyone's just joined the stream, these are not legitimate bands because they are just rehosting and they want to get through these as fast as possible. And Zynga
being they actually ban the pick.
yeah, that happened on multiple occasions. We've done many streams in which that's happened, and it's like, really?
You just did that.
Yeah, just did that. Okay, so we will have Zara, Swain, Kate coming out, and of course these people could be swapping up as well, but I assume these are the summoners they're going to be taking, and Zara has the exhaust at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and say that's going to be a Zyra support, which is not at all funky, because Zyra support is kind of amazing.
Yeah, it does. Zyra support just does a lot of damage and doesn't seem to suffer for crowd control. The plants that she puts out, the base damages on those are just like really, really high. If you get trapped as an AD carry in the grasping roots with 2 plants on you, and especially if she then ults that to follow up and buff the plants, you're going to take a lot of damage. It's kind of like alarming just how much she does without any AP at all. So is Renekton the actual ban? Sorry?
Yes, I believe he is, and that'll be probably top lane. Renekton brings a lot of early game dominance into the field, and he does kind of scale off when it gets to the late game. He just basically becomes CC, but then again they have a really, really nice stalling team. If you get to the late game, they have the Anivia. I don't see too much synergy at the moment. They just have a kind of beefy team when they get into team fights.
Yeah, they're going to have to deal with some pretty hard opposition, though. I mean, Nunu Caitlyn is a really, really strong combination, and they can actually, more than almost any other AD carry and support combo, if they get ahead, they can safely pressure a lane, just as a duo. They can just ward up the enemy's jungle and just really, really shop hard, and that actually complements the way Shen will want to work. He'll also want to be really, really aggressively pushing up top lane if he can. And Swain, he's not particularly mobile, but he does have that that ability to kind of just appear in a lane and output all the damage he needs. But I'd say Swain is probably best used in like a 2 or 3 man fight, because he's got enough, damage out of his birds. They're hitting everyone that they can, and his single target CC is strong, and obviously Never Move is also very, very powerful in that environment because he can hit a couple of people or just zone them out. So while he isn't that mobile, he is going to be very, very strong if they're going for this heavy kind of split pushing composition. He'll appear, just out of the blue, a bird from the blue. He will, and obviously just output a lot of damage very quickly. Because the thing about in a 2 or 3 man fight is it's much harder to focus Swain down, and he obviously, the longer the fight goes on, the more healing he gets done from birds. Birds. I should actually be able to spectate this now, I think.
Yes, indeed. We are 2 minutes and 47 on the delay. We will be probably just casting through this because...
I think they blocked spectators.
That would be very frustrating. I will go ahead and contact one of the team captains.
So many times. I can't spectate the game. I should be able to spectate it during the delay. Oh boy! Caster problems. Yeah, this is probably the most common problem for me. Is that there's a cameraman in the lobby, and there's Pulse in the lobby because he's taking lead, and then there's me outside the lobby thinking, I really wish I could spectate this live, actually. That would be pretty handy. I don't think it's going to happen unless we remake, I guess. It only being a minute in. Oh wait, it's available now. I can spectate. What?
Oh good, well I've just gone...
What? What? That doesn't make any sense. But they were in the delay. Wait, what delay are we running the stream on? That doesn't make any sense.
Alright, well I just told them to ignore that, so that's fine.
Okay.
In fact, you have not made the issue. In fact, Spuddington has just made the issue. So...
Okay, right, well I'm hoping... So yeah, you didn't have... I'm guessing they hadn't even loaded in by the time you were messaging them. Whatever. Pro as heck. Guide to casting. Well, I could I definitely, it was grayed out, like the option. I mean, maybe I was not taking account of like the 10-20 second delay on the stream. Like I'm always paranoid nowadays because of how many times this has happened. I end up like just thinking, have they done it? Have they done it? Have they done it? Oh, they've done it. I'm not at all surprised. And now we're gonna have to remake. And actually, they didn't. And I didn't.
Yeah, to be honest, it's not as bad as the problems I had when I first started casting, where we had, the 10 viewer streams and the 700 elo teams, and they were just like, we don't want spectators because you could be ghosting with a 3-minute delay. Go away.
More locations now.
Yeah, it was just getting these low elo teams that was trash talking the hell out of the spectators and the streamers. That was not a fun environment.
Oh dear. Not that you would ever name any names, really.
No, I wouldn't.
That would be terrible. Naming people at all, ever.
Naming and shaming. So we had 10 minutes, since there was 10 minutes left on the delay. That was shocking. 8 minutes. 8
minutes.
5 seconds
8 minutes
on the delay. And we should
sure
be
it's
on
not
to the
5
loan
minutes?
screen.
5 hours, 5 months. 7, 2.
5 months and we start this game. I'll be back with you.
I'm going to France.
Soon.
I'll be right back. Be 5 months. That's a pretty long be right back for going to France.
It is, and plus if it was a delay as well, you'd have to be right on time. Yeah, actually into that stream. 'Cause it was exactly 5 months from now. Have to be there.
I'm just sitting. I didn't know that was a thing.
It is. I believe it's a legacy skin, and it probably still has triangle feet. That's basically what Severe is. It's just a combination of triangles.
That's pretty much something you can say of all the older character models, though. I mean, Nunu's alright, actually. He's kind of... But then again, Nunu is made of jelly, so I guess he just adapted. But Severe... You've got Spectacular Severe. I knew Spectacular Severe has, like, the weirdest running animation. I know that. She looks like she's kind of doing a funky chicken as she goes. But that's not the same, is it? I didn't even know this was a separate thing that existed. Or is this the one that's got the really janky running animation?
I'm not sure. I think most of the skins do. Wow, look at that running animation.
Yeah, no, it is this one.
This is crazy.
Yeah, so anyway, this is Zynga versus Google.
Oh man.
Finally getting underway here.
Welcome to
I'm just
Summoner's
going to be
Rift.
spreading out at the end into... No, is Blue Team going to be going for it? Blue Team, damn it. Old habits. Wait, who is who?
Zynga will be the blue, and in the purple corner we have Google.
I'm so good at this. Right. Zynga. I'm not invading, which is actually what I was about to query, but I took so long faffing around that didn't happen. And it actually looks like we've got Renekton mid at the moment.
30 seconds.
Probably not going to be a Niv top though, because Anivia as a top laner is basically saying, please gank me, I want to die lots. She is so and has no escape at all, other than obviously stunning someone, but Flash says hi. So yeah, she'll be mid. 90% chance.
Can I get a percentage rate on this, please? Oh, we have a 33%. I'm not even going to pull that one up. Okay, so Renekton could be mid. I like that matchup between Renekton and Swain. Now, plus the fact he's repping the 9 health potions and 2 sight ward start, I am rating his chances highly against a sustained lane such as Swain. And also the fact he has his Slice and Dice as a gap player would work pretty nicely, but he is in fact going to go top lane, which makes a whole lot of sense. Hecarim starting with the Wolves. Quite difficult, quite different rather, to some of those failcast. I can't even. I was replacing letters in words today. Because why not, really?
Failcast.
Failcast is what I was trying to say. Because none of those people start wolves. That's a waste of time.
Yeah, and it's true fact. Registered true fact industries, true fact TM, 100% true. By which I mean it. But so Renekton is actually going top lane. He's taken 9 health potions and 2 wards. I guess he just wants to like super out sustain Shen. Renekton does have some inbuilt sustain of his own. Once he hits sort of level 3, is probably going to be his boom time. He's going to be doing that typical high amount of... It looks like they gave a smite pull to Mumu, so he's actually taking red buff right now. He could actually go for an early gank. He takes bandage toss now. Yeah, like he is. He's taking bandage toss.
That is kind of interesting. Mumu is not generally the jungler who you associate with early game ganks. I mean, he's pretty strong. If he gets that level 3, which he does have now, that's a lot of substantial burst, and Renekton's going to go straight to the face first. Frozen Fire coming in as well, forcing the flash into the Slice and Dice. Keeping himself alive, and Mumu's going to stick around as well, and Renekton has not yet warded. Obviously because you don't associate Mumu with the gank, and hello Mumu, still there. He's now slunking back into his jungle.
He's slunking.
He's slunking into his bath.
He's a I'm a reg bath slunker. And I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, that's one of the things about Mumu though. He does do quite a lot of damage, especially if he can stick to you with the red buff for a little while. The total damage output really starts to add up, and obviously with a Shen lane, that means they've got the CC to set a Mumu up to land his own bandage toss. Get that taunt land, and you're pretty much guaranteed the bandage toss. Adds up to like 2 or 3 seconds.
Meanwhile, we do have some ganking, and there's the flash from KT Flash. I like that name. But go ahead and finish your point.
I was just saying, you know, chaining CC is kind of a key aim here for them. They really want to land that damage from the. They want to land that bandage from Lulu. So obviously that taunt from Shen sets that up very nicely. And fed Shen, fed Mumu isn't like the strongest thing in the world, but it will also stop Renekton from being that lane bully that he wants to be. If he's constantly worried about being ganked, then it forces him to play a lot less aggressively. Like right now, I suspect he's feeling a little bit afraid because he hasn't seen a Moo in a while. He does. This is how you can tell Renekton is slightly afraid of being ganked. He's not going to use Slice and Dice to get aggressive. Actually, Moo is hanging on mid.
Going to be a difficult gank if he wants it to happen though, because Anivia's fairly close to a turret. Looking to never move as well. It's getting a bit of harass off. And of course, Mumu just kind of wandering around, look to do some counter-jungling as well. Right now, the lanes are not looking nice for Mumu. He knows top swords as well, maybe getting a gank off on that Renekton, maybe looking for that lane gank. But right now, Mumu just wants to be farming. The faster he can get to that level 6 sort of area, the faster he really improves those ganks, pretty much to a secure kill, and can start forcing objectives like Dragon as well.
Yeah, so I'm actually just going to mention this bottom lanes. They picked Sivir into Caitlyn. And that can be a really bad move because people quite often do this. People quite often pick Sivir against Caitlyn because they're like, well, Sivir has a spell shield. Sivir really likes to have a lot of mana. Caitlyn traps are basically 3 mana. But the problem is Caitlyn has, 650 attack range on her auto attacks. Sivir has 500. It's 150 difference between the two of them. And that means that she is constantly able to land harass if Sivir goes for CS, or indeed to step in a trap. She's just kind of constantly take it. Actually, Hecarim is bot.
Actually, we have an initiate down. That's a massive damage coming out. Cleanse and the flash coming out as well. And Hecarim will be picking up that first blood. Sivir popping down the spell shield as well. And just to put that 150 range into context, that's 3 Teemos.
3 Teemos. Pulse is a great advocate for the measurement system.
Sponsored by Riot. Right game.
It's true, right?
It is.
Riot do apparently use Teemos as their internal measurement system, but for in-game, not normal life measurements. Well, I'd say that
measure everything in real life in Teemos.
I'm sorry, sir. You were driving at 100 Teemos a second. Actually, that'd be pretty fast.
It would be.
100 Teemos. Oh yeah. No, assuming a Teemo is like is like a human. He's pretty, like he's short, but he's not
kind of roundish, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
Probably say it's like 4/5 of a Teemo, it's like a human.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
About right. So yeah, that would be quite fast. Like, I'm wondering if this is a plane regulation. Your jet is. My hovercraft is full of yield.
Nope. Okay. So right now it's pretty passive of the game. Hecarim looking for that lane gank in the mid. And Nuna's just kind of wandering around because why not? Hecarim's laning with Anivia at the moment, generally because she's barely out of mana, maybe looking for this guy, but more because he wants to push it out, I guess. Anivia now hitting level 6 as well, and Nuna's just returning to bot lane. It's kind of nice if Nuna's actually going to mid and ward for Swain, because now with the ghost wards, you will have more just free wards to place around as like he doesn't actually have it at the moment. So good guy Nunu.
Yeah, it's something that it's a very good thing to be doing as a support. I mean, warding. In fact, warding in position is even a good move for bot lane from a selfish perspective, because if you have vision of the enemy rates, if you have vision of the enemy when they gank mid, that actually means you can sort of infer when you can be aggressive in bot lane, when you can afford to be afraid, because having that ward there actually gives you vision that you can't, or gives you information that you can't really have from wards in Tribrush or a Dragon, because it tells you when someone's in the river. It tells you when they've been, so it tells you to be alert ahead of time. But yeah, so Sivir Zyra, I actually quite like it in terms of if you're going to put Sivir against Caitlyn, because Zyra is always going to punish that aggression, and you can see it right there actually. Nunu tried to get in close, took a grasping root and a plant to the face. So it means that Zyra is sort of compensating for the weakness of Sivir in this lane. And obviously if a grasping root does land, then Sivir has, I think I can say unparalleled burst for AD carries. I certainly
think Draven would like maybe up there and might disprove your point, but definitely in the top 2, if not the best. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's just, and also the range on that burst. I mean, Boomerang blade is super long. And that's going to make life very, very difficult. And meanwhile, this mid lane is kind of looking like it's just going to be a farm fest, to be honest, at this point. Anivia is going to want to try and pressure Swain under his tower. He is going to be able to sustain through that, and Anivia, if she gets too aggressive, might get ganked. possibly looking to do that now, in fact, Amumu.
Yeah, Mumu wants something to happen. Pretty certain she saw him go in since there is a ward right there. Yeah, there we go. Renekton has indeed gone back, picked up the Brutalizer. Kind of an interesting point, interesting build, because Renekton, yes, he does like all the stats that Brutalizer gives him. And Hecarim will be going for the gang down at bottom, knocking the ultimate and knocking Nunu out of his ultimate almost immediately. We do have the cleanse coming down from Tomato Orange, but instantly being picked up by the Hecarim. As Nunu just tries to get out of there himself. Swain puts him to a bad position and he's immediately taken down by Anivia with that burst combination and the ignite.
Yeah, so yeah, has kind of a deceptive amount of burst. You don't really think of it because Glacial Storm is kind of a very slow ticking damage, but it definitely adds up quite quickly. And if you get the Q to land both of its damage procs, then you're going to take a lot of damage very, very quickly, especially with Frostbite doubling itself.
Yeah, so we do have the team utilizing that being Zynga. Moving on to that Drake, because pretty much they just picked up 2 kills, so why not, basically. Also, moving back onto that point with the Brutalizer, I would like to finish that one off. The only problem with that, picking that into a Shen lane, is Shen is fairly tanky, fairly defensive. Chances of actually picking up a kill on Shen's fairly low, but he's doing pretty well at the moment, so I guess the Brutalizer made a lot of sense.
Well, I mean, part of the interesting with the Brutalizer on Renekton is that it directly relates to his sustain. Getting that extra cooldown means he can use Cold and Meek much more often, and his, Renekton gets quite a lot of health back every time he uses the empowered Cold and Meek. So, and obviously it's also helping to push out this lane pretty hard, meaning Shen has a harder time trying to roam. You can see he's got Teleport and he's got Stand United, but he hasn't really had much of an opportunity to use them yet. And if he goes, now Renekton's going to take his tower, because Renekton is constantly pushing up really, really hard. Keeping a ward in that tri-brush up top, but I wonder if Amumu will try and make something happen up there. He has hit 6, he does have Custard Sad Mummy available. Now is the time for Amumu to be doing something if he can.
Yeah, so right now from the full team, that being Google, we want to see them just kind of wearing them down, maybe getting into those team fights slightly earlier, because they have that really nice early game and mid-game presence. That being said, the freaks and just being about 2k in front of them in gold might kind of hamper them, but the fact that their picks just translate really well, just with base damages, they should be able to go for that. But they need to force something and make something happen, because if they just be complacent, then we will have Anivia just becoming a monster when it gets to the late game. Hecarim looking at that gang down at bottom, ultimate pop down by Sivir as well. We have the captain gang coming in from Amumu, ultimate coming down from Shan as well, 4-man gang, and Hecarim tries to back them off with that ultimate, only hitting Nunu really. Ultimate coming down from Caitlyn as well, trying to pick someone off, and Hecarim trying to get out. He's the last straggler. And Mumu looks at Tower Dive as well, and Spike Shen will be tanking. Nice shots landing onto Zyra. That will be definitely 1 kill. As she goes down into her passive form, just doing a bit of damage to Mumu, but he really doesn't care at this stage.
Did you the Zyra play there, where she flashed into the way of the Caitlyn ult? The gnome's president died.
I did not. But meanwhile, Anivia, the ultimate coming down, and the first comment coming in from Anivia, not picking up the kill, taking a lot of turret damage herself in return.
Yeah, but Swain can afford to stay in on this health, or unless he can get some back actually off of this off these wolves. The thing about Swain is that yes, he has a lot of healing over the course of a full fight, but he only gets that healing if he can get in the first place without being bursted down. And that's why he has a bit of trouble later on with his short ranges until he gets the Zhonya's Hourglass, because it's just people start bursting him down before he can really do anything, and I'm not sure he can take his blue buff alone.
Moon was going to try and help out because, yeah, that was not happening for Swain. Running out of mana is just not fun times. I should be able to pick up this fairly easily. There we go. So Caitlyn just moved into mid just to push that out, and right now they need to make something happen. That was a really nice counter gang, I have to say, from bottom. With the Shen coming in, they lose the tower for it, but they also picked up a tower in return, and they needed something to happen. They need to utilize their picks, and that was the first time, as you pointed out before, that Shen's really been able to use his teleport, which is make Shen.
Yeah, and he actually also used his summon teleport, I guess, to stop Renekton pushing. Didn't actually see that happening, but pretty solid choice on Heart. The thing Renekton does, and I think probably the thing that he will remain relevant as for longest, is as a kind of duelist. In a one-on-one fight where he sticks around for quite a long time, Renekton's sustain actually starts to really add up. And actually now he's picked up the Black Cleaver, so He's going to be doing quite a bit of damage. This is probably Renekton's strongest time, actually. Like, mid-game, where the ability, like, he's just starting to max out his abilities, getting a lot of damage from his ultimate. You know, he's got the Black Cleaver. He'll be doing a lot of armor shred too, so he'll be doing nearly true damage on a lot of people. Yeah, this is Renekton's time to shine. But what can he do? Because if he goes to bot right now...
Meanwhile, mid, we have the opening by Hecarim as a Nivea comes in from the side while slowing him down with a Glacial Storm, looking for that Q, and nice hand guy coming in from the move as well. But the Flash can keep himself alive, remains to be seen. We have the opening coming down from the Curse of Sad Mummy. We have Caitlyn coming in from the south as well, picking up that kill straight onto Q-Man D. Now, Nivea should get out of there, flashing out the way of the ace in the hole, but I think that was also because she saw Nunu coming in from the side as well. Meanwhile, we have Civic coming in, just assassinated Caitlyn, did not even see that. Oh.
Yeah, she's, yeah, first combat. I'm relating what previously happened to what's going on now. So, yeah, she's got this man as well. She's left first form on for a very long time, but I guess he's got blue buff, so he's got a chalice as well. Yeah, wow, he's actually got chalice, tier, and blue buff, and a flask. I'm not surprised.
And Renekton has himself in the Moo Moo. This is Ignite coming down as well. He has the flash and will pick up the kill with an extra auto attack. We'll have a teamfight erupting with a Frozen Fire, trying to get out of here. In fact, that wasn't a teamfight, that was just Shen saying hi. I don't think Flash wants to move in here.
Is it wrong of me to just Frozen Fire?
But basically,
because he spelt it Frozen Fire. I'm sorry. You're Frozen Fire to me.
It's that guy called VV Ombo combo. But TV is not Ombo combo.
Well, I guess the name was taken. Find a new name. Frozen Fire. Bombo. I couldn't say his name then either. So anyway, they're going to be, yeah, Renekton now is basically his fight.
And Nivea has found herself caught over in mid and Flash will be picking up this kill and caught in tower range as well. This is not a fun place to be. As Bird. And Hecarim just took his face and then realizes this is a really bad life decision.
I regret things. One of them was trying to save Nivea. He didn't actually regret it though. He never got the chance.
He didn't save Nivea either.
No, true. Neither that. But so this Dragonplay coming in here, right here. This is Google Dragonplay. Google, you can remember it. And yeah, they essentially, with Nivea down, there was just no way for Zynga to contest that. They're not going to be too concerned at the moment. They still have a small gold lead, but they're definitely getting back into it right now. Google catching up on gold. They've made some good plays across the board actually, and I suspect what we'll be seeing a lot of here is what we're seeing in bot lane at the moment, which is Nunu and Caitlyn in a side lane together, but alone, apart from the rest of the team, just shoving really hard constantly and having Sivir have snowballs. And we have Hecarim down there as well actually with a red buff.
Yeah, this could be very scary times for Google's bottom lane, but this is the time in the game where they want things to happen, and hello, this is a ward, Hecarim, you're not wasting time, and I think he knows, yeah. He is out of there, but right now they need to be making things happen, because Caitlyn has basically transitioned into a murder machine because Nunu allows you to do that with the Blood Boil. But when you're getting into this type of the game, into the mid-game, when you have this type of composition, you want things to be happening, and they need that time. I mean, even though Amumu scales really well, Caitlyn is just super strong. So they want to be seasoning, want to be pushing, and they have the perfect team to do so. They have, as you said, that bottom lane who wants to be pushing all the time. They have the Shen up top as well. But whether Shen can actually duel Renekton is probably the main factor here.
Yeah, I think Shen will eventually get to a point where he can fight Renekton one-on-one and not be too concerned, and in fact he's showing signs of that right now. I mean, he can just stack armor all day, he can stack health all day, and eventually he'll get to the point where Renekton is barely breaking his shield, and he slowly whittles Renekton down. And when you hit that point as Renekton where you can't duel that guy, you're in a bit of a state because your team fight is walking up to someone and stunning them, and yeah, you gotta go after his back.
Initiate down the middle, Hecarim popping down the ultimate, and the Curse of Sad Mummy coming in as well, locking down Olivia, and will fall immediately without the egg. Shen coming in there as well, locking the rest of them down, but Renekton will be trying to get out of there, has Dominus down, and they should be able to get out that 1-for-0 trade, but picking a tower down at bottom as well.
Yeah. not a bad trade though. Well, actually, that never has landed onto Renekton, who is going to be just back so, yeah, what's going on right now? I'm a little bit surprised they actually lost that tower at bottom lane there. Sivir, he has a Bloodthirster, and it looks like Caitlyn is shooting for the Infinity Edge, so that might be why they're currently not really able to duel her. Caitlyn obviously not having that finished Infinity Edge means she's making a lot better use of the gold that she has, and obviously Sivir does have the stronger burst potential early game anyway, so I guess I can see how she got down, but Caitlyn will have a better late game these AD carries, there is no question of that. The difference in range is just great later on. Actually, Swain taking quite a lot of damage here, but so is Sid. She's just going to back out, I think. She blew her spell shield earlier on without actually getting the mana back. So she couldn't follow that up with a boomerang blade onto Swain. My bro Swain. I like Swain in this case. He's a pretty solid guy. Solid.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, I like Swain. I haven't bought the Tyrant Overlord yet. I was kind of tempted, but I sort of didn't. I bought Gukin Sona though. Is it Gukin? Gurkin?
Gherkin Sona, and that'll need to be a thing.
Good
job, Spuddington. Now I'm always going to think of that as Gherkin Sona. Delicious.
Welcome to the Gherkin. Bullet. Oh god, no. I haven't even I don't know if my Nunubot impression has slipped though in the past 2 weeks. I haven't been doing it at all.
Your text has
yeah, you will feel my rage now. No, it's not as good.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's not. I lost it. I don't know how.
Disappointing.
I know.
What are you doing?
I should have just in Spain with my grandparents in the room. I should have started talking as a text-to-speech imitator. You will feel my rage now.
Though I want to finish this station, we could have some action coming down as Caitlyn finds herself an angry Anivia. We don't have Tara coming in from the south as well. Onslaught of Shadows over the walls while Frost and Fire trying to keep his ally alive. He should be successful. And Mumu whipping the bounce toss, just slotting them in the middle. And Anivia very, very nicely McLarening her team.
McLaren, that guy. You know, I had a lecturer called McLaren. Ian McLaren.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you have a voice that was similar to?
No, but he was from Cambridge. Actually, went to university in Cambridge. He would never let you forget it. It's like every other sentence. When I was in Cambridge. Yeah, that guy. Pretty amazing. He's my favourite lecturer. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but there's probably something to do with the game I could talk about, but you know, my lecturer from like a year ago now. Well, like up a year ago.
It's priority.
It's have to prioritise what's important in life. To me, Cambridge is not what I went there. So,
yeah, a bit of a downtime at the moment, and we'll probably touch on the items we did say before, but Nunu just kind of with a solid support build along with Zara as well, looking for that side stone, which is just basically amazing. He makes, gives you the ability to ward absolutely everything. Have 2 of those on your team, what are you going to do? You just need an Oracle, but you can't because it wears off in 4 minutes. I'm kind of surprised they didn't reduce the price of Oracle, but there you go.
Yeah, it's hard to keep map control away from at this moment in time, because unless you're basically there to punish them when they put out the ward, then it doesn't cost them anything when you clear it out, really. I mean, side zone ward is just 10 gold, equivalent, and it's not even that really, because yes, you're giving them 10 gold, but no, that's not really a big deal. And never landed on 3 people there.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Had that been the team fight? We do have a mover looking for the flashing curve of the Sad Mummy as well. And Jen coming down as well, looking for this initiate. It's sure the top though will be Caitlyn. And we do have Renekton coming inside, just causing havoc. Karen will be falling as well. With Civic kind of on the left at the moment, she's racing to the enemy team. And this will surely be the ace.
Wow, that problem there with Caitlyn getting insta-killed there by Renekton. I don't think she even managed to land her E. She was just dead too fast. And yeah, right now she's pretty squishy. I'm not surprised. She will probably remain squishy, but she needs to be utilizing her range to stay out of the way of Renekton, because right now his damage is high enough that she has to be very concerned that he'll just tear her apart instantly. It looks like actually Renekton's going for Spirit Visage, which I quite like actually. That's quite a good idea. He's obviously going to want that healing from that Cole the Meek and additionally gives him that selfish magic resist, gives him that cooldown reduction and that health. Quite like that. I quite like that build, you know.
And meanwhile, Sivir is winning, and it is great.
That's
Yeah, she's really cool.
the thing. It's like she's always slightly moonwalking.
Yeah, and it reminds me of cartoons.
Yeah,
the way that-
there's
yeah.
just something wrong. It's like Unvalley, but running animation. There's also the fact that her hair is totally in sync with her running animation. I wonder if you slowed her, if she gets hit by a snowball, does her hair slow down?
That's a good point. For science, this needs to happen.
I want to see this happen.
Just message one of the players. Hey Nunu, could you snowball Sivir?
Could you
I want to see.
Sivir?
I want to see the run animation.
This is important. This is important for science. This is more important than your game.
More important than winning.
Yeah.
Blue team's
We've
turret
got
has been
Hecarim.
destroyed.
Hello Hecarim. What are you doing here? Oh, you've lost your tower. It's not your tower, but it's your team's tower. Sorry, Hecarim.
Didn't personally belong to him. And
Yeah. Well, live or die. I don't know. What's Hecarim supposed to be?
I think he's already dead, so that's okay, really.
Who knows? He's got an Aegis of the Legion though. That's a good pickup. I like that on a lot of junglers nowadays. But Aegis of the Legion is a generally pretty solid sub item, but since the Season 3 changes, it's become harder for supports to buy it. It's a more expensive item now. And while they do have more gold, it's typically something I'd like to see junglers picking up a lot now. It's actually also Runic Bulwark, I think, is the strongest selfish magic resist item as well. It's not selfish because obviously it's an aura item, but Runic Bulwark is I think the highest magic resist on any single item. Hecarim might be seeing himself. Nope, he's not.
Yeah, it's 30 from the item and 30 from the aura. And of course, that 30 magic resist is really, really nice for your team to have. I mean, magic resist is fairly difficult to get nowadays, and they will be seizing the top turrets. Chen's going to be pushing mid. They want to try and force this engagement under turret while they're sieging it. They have a pretty beefy front line and should be able to get out of there fairly quickly as well. Whether this second turret will actually offer them sanctuary is another issue entirely. But as they push, they do have that Chen slowly pushing down the mid. This is Dominus being popped down by Renekton. He's not initiating. Okay. I thought they probably will now because somebody must be coming down in the second area. There's ultimate coming down by Nunu as well. They will be picking up the double kill from Anivia. That's front line just keeping them alive. We do have Gentling back into the fray now with Caitlyn down at the back. She is actually alive. We have 2 for 2 trade ultimate coming down. Ace and Hole picking up the kill on to Zyra. That's the triple kill for Caitlyn. And that just goes to show what happens when the AD carry is kept alive. Shen's surely going to... Oh, nice spell shield from Sivir keeping herself alive just for another couple of seconds. The exhaust comes down onto Frozen Fire. Vorpal Blade coming in and the cleanse coming in for some reason. I guess she was expecting one. We do have Caitlyn still. Let's chase this one down, and I think they're going to go ahead and give up.
I think she could have chased that actually. She had Blood Boil on her. She could have kept going. Or no. She should have. She had more movement speed. Don't know what that. Hey, what's up with that? Although Caitlyn is actually significantly slower than Sivir, just by base. I mean, 399 movement speed on Sivir to 370 on Caitlyn. I think Blood Boil should, 423 after Blood Boil. And obviously, when the net came up, she would have been able to do it backwards, and it would have only taken an auto attack to kill Sivir.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised, but yeah, that last team fight, that was the pressure of Shen. Because you saw that, Zynga there really... Wait, yes, Zynga really wanted to force that fight, but they were aware that if they dived that tower with a Mumu there, it was going to be a 5-on-5 under tower when the enemy has huge crowd control, and that's just unpleasant to have to deal with. So they might actually look to force this Baron here. They're actually going for it. They will start it. I don't think they can get this done if they're going to turn and try and get onto Shen.
Not quite the turn, and the Hecarim is kind of knocking away Frozen Fire. Nothing really going to happen. They wanted someone else other than Shen really just to appear so they can give them. It was a good play. I mean, they are still ahead right now, and of course they didn't want to be forcing engagements under the turret like they did last time, because that just did not turn out very nicely for them, especially in that sort of choke point area as well in the lane, where you have the Caitlyn behind the turret. It's very, very difficult just to reach her. It gives a lot of room for manoeuvring, and right now, just the right play being made by Shen, just constantly constantly pushing, forcing them to be fairly defensive, and they're just wanting to stay away from them, stopping that engagement, and really Amumu just wants to be waiting until the enemy initiates on them, and then there's Cursor's Mummy, you've all been locked down, and then the counter-initiate, I feel, from Google is way stronger than their initiate. Right now.
And there's also the fact that Shen, with some of the teleports, isn't ever going to have like that period where he doesn't have either cooldown available. Like, I mean, it could happen, but right now he can constantly threaten, even if he's just used his ultimate, and that is that's going to make life so difficult for them because they need to be on top of this. But the objectives that they can force right now, so, I mean, there's Dragon maybe, but and Shen can take out the Dragon. That would be a pretty good trade for him right now. And it looks like they're actually just going to pick this Dragon up. Possibly uncontested, things are a fair way away right now.
Yeah, if any fight that happens, this is the fight that Zynga wants, and they've only just realised, because when you have a Dragon who's fairly low damage in comparison to like Baron or a turret, and that's the kind of fight that they want. They want this sort of open environment where they don't have that choke point, they can kind of lock down Caitlyn once again like they did in that previous fight. And it was in fact a Dragon fight in which that happened, so that is the area they wanted to happen. Good job for Nexon just walking into a trap, and that was a Baron play, that was not what they wanted to be doing.
Yeah, the thing is they need to make things like Baron plays. They need to force 5-on-5 fights. When Shen split pushes, and when they're forced to initiate 4v5, which then becomes a 5-on-5, that is really not during them. But at the same time, their ability to force such a fight, they've got Hecarim, I guess, pretty decent for engaging. You know, their team is actually more focused on stymieing aggression, but that's not going to help them that much against the split push composition where they're quite active playing passive. Because any one player stops Shen one-on-one, but then you're opening yourself up to the risk of getting engaged upon and having a 4v5 with that Amumu. I actually really like this Google composition. I really.
Really?
Actually, really think it's fight here.
Yeah, someone gets on like one of these CCs, but it's not going to happen. Shen's once again split pushing. It will take him quite a while to hit that turret. They have some breathing space, and once again looking for this initiate, or just to try and siege this top turret. Didn't go well the first time. Have they learned the mistake? Or learned from the mistake? I don't know. One of them gets not going to look good, and Sivir just gets never moved. I think maybe could have followed up on that, but he was kind of standing there.
I think, to be honest, quite happy to just let Shen push.
Yeah.
Right now, they are aware that they are essentially in a winning position. They don't have to do anything to make this happen. Shen will just keep keeping, and until that initiate comes from the enemy, just back and watch. And then when they send them to try and stop Shen, they're just going to have to bite the bullet and initiate 4v5. I say bite the bullet as if it's a bad thing, but it sort of isn't really. Because it's a 4v5 fight, and 4v5 fights are the fights you win, mostly. Welcome to Solo Queue.
Exactly. Right now, Caitlyn's just hit 3 items, and that's very scary, considering Sivir is actually opting probably for the Guardian Angel from what I can see, which is an interesting pickup, considering you really want more damage, you want to be able to fight these fights, and I don't think Sivir's really had a problem with being focused anyway, or positioning-wise.
Yeah, I haven't noticing it too much, and to be honest, against the team composition she's against, I wouldn't go for Guardian Angel, I would go for Quicksilver. You've got Amumu, because that mummy is one of the hardest things to avoid for Sivir. I mean, she could go for like a Korean spell shield, but I don't think there is a cast animation on Curse of the Sad Mummy. You know, unless you predict it, you're not going to be able to avoid it, and that's not reliable. I mean, obviously there's also Shen, there's also Nunu Ice Ball. There's a lot of things that I would want to cleanse out of if I was Sivir. And a GA, there are people that could burst her down, but I think it's less likely than just being caught out.
Yeah, I mean, their team, if anything, is really quite sustained. You have Swain, who is just like the epitome of a sustained mage. In terms of being burst down, that ain't really going to happen. And if she comes back up again, hello, there's way more CC to pin you down once again. So yeah, definitely like a Quicksilver Sash would really help Sivir out more in this situation. But there you go, and especially more damage at this stage, because she kind of needed to face up against this team, because she's got the Bloodthirster rather than the Infinity Edge, which is more sort of raw damage for AD carries in general.
Yeah, and Caitlyn's damage right now, is extremely high. I'm wondering whether she'll go for a defensive item now. I probably would have Caitlyn. Looks like she's actually just sitting around on the spawn pad for a second. She's got... Gold do you have, Caitlyn? 140. What are you doing, Caitlyn? Oh, she could afford a chain. Yeah, she is going to go for Guardian. And that makes a lot more sense for her, because she's obviously going to be getting dived by Renekton and Hecarim. They are going to be dive buddies. Which is apparently actually a technical term for scuba diving, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You must have a dive buddy unless you're like amazing at diving. Because otherwise there's a high chance of drowning. which also kind of makes.
Yeah,
if you've got two people diving...
Well, hello, this could be an initiate next on the flash, and another flash from Caitlyn. The next one kind of getting confused for a second there, and Hecarim coming in from the side as well, maybe looking for that onslaught of shadows. I think they're just going to go ahead and back off, as I just interrupted your point on scuba diving.
Scuba diving thing. I have now done a certificate in scuba diving. It was fun. I didn't drown, which was surprising. So, yeah. Like I say, there's actually kind of a high chance of drowning. If you've got two people diving into the enemy team, you're much more likely to have both of those people survive. But you can see this again trying to force this fight, but they just don't have the tools to do it. Hecarim is really the only one with an ultimate that they can initiate on, and they don't have very good follow-up. Anivia is going to take time to follow that up with her ultimate. Zyra is going to take time to get that knock-up on her ultimate. So yeah, they're just in a really awkward situation where they can't start a fight on their terms, but if they try and start a, force an objective, they come out behind, so the only one they can get is Renekton.
Yeah, but this could be a fight with Swain essentially being caught out by Hecarim being torn that apart. Also, the shadows coming in, and there's going to be Sam running. Shen probably wants to get into this fight very, very quickly, and he comes in immediately with nearly now being popped into X4, will be taking out orders instantly as well, and also be dropping the passive coming down from Zyra, only just kind of tickling the rest of the team, and that Guardian Angel really isn't going to help you.
Ooh. Yeah. So, how? That 3 band, that probably means power after that, I would expect. Maybe not, maybe they don't have time, I don't know. I don't really think it's that right now because they're just demonstrating good constantly ahead in this game, and I don't see how it can be turned around right now. If they get a good initiative, if they can give Caitlyn, then they can win a fight. But otherwise, they're just not going to come out ahead. They're just going to constantly get in the situation, and they have to make some kind of really aggressive play. If they got, I don't know, Renekton with like, if they had someone with 200 armor, they could start just literally going and tanking towers to take them down, and then that might be a way for them to force fights, in a more favourable manner. But of course now their opponents have Baron buff, which is extremely risky, and there's still always that chance that Shen can turn up. Of course, at the moment, Shen has neither Summon a Teleport nor his ultimate, so they do actually have the chance to try and make something happen right now.
Yeah. However, during all of that, Shen actually teleported down back bottom while they were taking Baron, picks up another turret. Renekton actually tried to stop him with a Call the Mage, but didn't stop him for very long because Shen can just tank turrets all day at the moment. So that happened. He's basically picked up 2 turrets for free. They won an extra team fight. And in terms of getting something done, it's just very, very difficult, as you mentioned before. Ownwrecker might be a thing if they want to be trying to take down these turrets.
That might genuinely be a good choice of items. I mean, I've never seen anyone build Ownwrecker in a competitive game, but this is the type of game where you kind of need it, and it has its niche right now. Also, the shadows could from Hecarim very ballsy play. H-Flash could be caught up here. We do have Zynga to come back here very, very quickly. Moon just sitting in the middle of the zone at 3 people. Slaughter Orange just coming in the back trying to keep himself alive. And doing go down to those tanks. It's currently a 2-for-1 trade. This could be the fight that Zynga really wants right now. Butterfly finds himself caught out as well. Hacker will be dropped almost immediately. And here is the wrecking ball of Caitlyn. Triple kill coming out. This could be potentially Quadra, and quite easily the Penta. Hello, what are you gonna do? Wow, yeah. Caitlyn now, wow, she's now so. When she goes back next time, she's probably gonna have a Bloodthirster as well, so she'll be a 5-item AD carry with a Blood Ball on her, and she's gonna just murder everything. And that fight, they just couldn't quite take Caitlyn out. Getting that pick onto Swain was exactly the right thing. That was what they needed. They needed to take someone out so that they could then start forcing fights. But they could have either tried to back out then, and actually, I've got a Blue corpse, and it's doing something very strange. Let's say no more about
that. Was certainly entering. Let's no longer mention that for the rest of history.
But anyway, yeah, Caitlyn now very, very fed. And yeah, that was exactly the right sort of fight, but they just didn't manage to take out Caitlyn. And I think actually they could have done. There was a moment where Caitlyn managed to get a triple kill with like 3 auto attacks, where the enemies just were careless. They didn't notice she was there, and they didn't estimate that she would one-shot them with a crit. And she did, so they all die.
Yeah.
And then Caitlyn has a penta. Oh dear.
Well, I think the main problem in that team fight was you had the bruises right up in Caitlyn's grill, and then the problem came of, well, my squishies are being taken out, we should probably double back and help them, and that was the worst decision they could have possibly made, because Caitlyn just walked up to the carriage as soon as she'd broken through that front line, yeah, basically in 3 auto attacks with 3 dead people, and then she just mopped up the bruises who had no damage behind them.
Yeah, it was, okay, that was the kind of fight they needed, but obviously it backfired pretty badly this time. The question is how to make something happen now. Caitlyn's flash is now actually up, which is going to make this even harder. They need to take out Caitlyn. I think now Swain isn't really good enough, but obviously the entire team is going to be protecting Caitlyn with their lives. Caitlyn is critting for 810, by the way.
Painful. Very painful.
That is, yeah, what? 1.5 attack speed before Blood Boil, so she's probably going to have, what, 2?
Yeah.
2.1 maybe?
Close.
That is... oh, yeah, headshot crit. That was something. So, yeah.
Tiny Frostbite zipping over that wall, meeting couple off by Bird, but here's another Bird to say hi to you. We'll be taking that almost immediately, popping down into Eggfall. Should be able to take that pretty easily. An Ace in the hole coming in, picking up that kill. Not actually picking up that kill, will be duped by the Hecker and keeping her alive. Doesn't really matter, will be taken out by a Mumu. We do have Sivir now coming back into the fray, but meeting a very, very angry Caitlyn on the other side of that wall.
Yeah, she can't against Caitlyn right now. She has 3 damage items, Caitlyn has 4 and Nunu. So, yeah, damage output. I mean, Caitlyn, the thing is, especially about AD carry items, is they all multiply each other's effect. So, if you have 2 items over your opponent effectively, you know, your lifesteal might well outweigh their damage. Like that's the extent an extra item can make in terms of damage. So, yeah, really awful situation, and they've got...
If they're going to make something happen, but no, they just have to force themselves back. Absolute Zero just keeping them away as well. They have so much to keep them away. They have such a strong front line. You have the Swain, you have the Shen, and the Nunu, and the Amumu actually. The Nunu and Amumu. I got confused there. It's like, did I already say
the Amumu.
No.
I am a Nunu. I'm a Nunu.
And Mumu.
Mumu with Will on the top. Mumu? This is one of the confusing things to players when they're like, you just stop focusing Nunu. I mean Mumu. I mean what? Sivir nearly died, by the way. Very nearly died.
Very, he kind of just took it to the face as well. Wasn't really expecting it. 4 auto attacks just brought her down so low in the space of 2 seconds. It's like, oh god, I'm dying. So yeah.
It's one of those things that only happens sometimes when you're shot repeatedly. But now it just looks like they were doomed, because frankly 3 inhibitors down and they were already well behind in their fight. Caitlyn is a murder. If they can make some kind of incredibly good play and, you know, give Caitlyn and then somehow ace the rest of the team without losing a man, and like doing it fast enough that the minions don't pressure the Nexus too much, maybe they could get the engines back up, maybe they could try and get back into the game, but I just don't see it happening. Caitlyn is too safe because of her range, and is doing too much damage because of her items and Nunu. I like the way I have to add Andu though to almost everything I say. It's like Caitlyn and Nunu.
Yeah, he's basically a item.
Yeah, basically. Oh, he could get a Zeke's Herald, actually. That would make her even more monstrous. But to be honest, right now, Mikhail's Crucible would be a much better pickup on Nunu, because obviously they are so focused on keeping Caitlyn alive. Having a free cleanse would be great. But looks like we're taking this Baron, and there's obviously nothing that can be done for Zynga to try and contest it. I expect they'll now go and push that bottom inhib out, down, and it's make or now basically for Zynga, but I'm pretty sure they're going to break.
Yeah, that was really the line on the coffin. Baron buff with Caitlyn out the Guardian Angel, that front line as well. And I don't really think they can fight the front line, that's the problem. Sivir is just not built enough. She hasn't got the Infinity Edge yet. She has picked up the last Whisper, but again...
Oh god.
Oh keep them alive.
Yes. This is the solution. So yeah, they're going to be pressuring this. I don't think they're even really going to go for this aggressive diving or anything. They're just going to pressure this out, take the very safe route, and fair enough to them, frankly. Google are just going to get sieging this tower. Look at Caitlyn chunk that tower though.
Yeah, and they really have to go team fight, and they want this to happen. Ultimate gun down by Sivir. Nope, they're just going to decide not to do something. The tower is going to fall literally from one auto attack from Caitlyn. I need something to happen. If you're going to initiate, now is the chance where you have the turrets up and they're now down. Justice Avalon coming in, and it's going to be forcibly down upon them. They have the onslaught of Shadow moving on to Caitlyn, but she's just standing there and taking it. Also coming in from Shen as well, but they can't even pop the shield. That is GG, well played.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do.
And that was really a victory team composition. Like Google just purely won that based on their picks. Because Zynga were ahead early on, and they were ahead after that fight where they managed to get Caitlyn. But after that, they just couldn't respond to that split pushing. They put themselves, their team position was in a position where they just couldn't deal with it. And once you're in that position, it's so hard to get back. You have to make some kind of incredible play, but how? How do you do it? And it's incredibly difficult to do. And no one even found out how. So yeah, they lost. But it was well played actually on both parts. So GG.
Yeah, I really do agree with the composition really winning it for them. I was slightly skeptical purely because Caitlyn is Caitlyn and she doesn't have the damage when it gets to the late game. But if she gets so far in front of the curve, it really doesn't matter. She's still an AD carry, has the same scaling as every other carry. So well, there you go. Well, it's scaling in terms of everything apart from damage throws, but
I want to go back to that Amumu corpse. Okay, you don't want to go back, but okay, yes.
But let's not mention buts because
that might be relevant to what Amumu was doing. So okay, yeah, that was the AHGL. I don't think there are any other games to be casted. Nope. There are probably other streams going on though for the next couple of games. Don't know what's up next.
Yep. And yeah, I don't believe anything is actually happening with this cast in terms of competition. So yeah, we will see you most likely next week when there will be another cast. And until then, I will see you later.
Wait,
what?
Plugging.
What? Plugging. Yes, we should probably do that. Where can we find you, Spuddington?
You can find me, this person here, this wonderful person. Okay, that's an interesting. Okay, so put an interesting image on the stream. So yeah, facebook.com/SpuddingtonCasts, and I also have a Twitter, by the way, which is twitter.com. Well, it's twitter.com. It's @Spuddington. So it's nothing so interesting as that.
Yes, indeed. I am being messaged. So yeah, if you want to find me, if you want to go ahead and like me and take a look at any of my upcoming casts, or if you just want to show me support, that would be absolutely fantastic. That'll be facebook.com/watchyourport. Same for my YouTube. Have some videos up on there. Creator of the Evelyn Champion Spotlight. Plug. And if you want to check out our streamer for today, which is Soviet Pride, he does a lot of guides on LeBlanc, and he's basically the best LeBlanc in Europe. Plug.
We swear.
So, we swear. So if you want to check out some of those guys, just check out Renegade 37 up on the screen right now. And that is a thing that you should definitely do.
Oh yeah, and I think there will be VODs of this at some point. Where will they be, though? That is the question.
Not actually sure. I mean, this game was not recorded on my own, but I believe Soviet had a copy. So
Yeah.
we'll work on getting that up.
I'm sure that'll be something that the AHGL will be responsible for. That is my mother. Hello. So I think with that I will sign off.
Yes, likewise. So thank you for watching, guys, and we will see you next week.